Hello people, have you ever wondered about how professional programmers think? What are the different approaches and techniques they use to find solutions? What is the best way to look at any problem or coding challenge? And how a programmer's mindset can change your life? After a decade of experience, and spending countless hours coding and thinking about different solutions, honestly saying, even I did not find the best answers to these questions. But yes, there are things that I can tell you, which may completely change the way you look at programming. The most important thing that you must remember about programming, that it is not just a skill, but it is a way of thinking. Yes, it is said by me. I consider programming as a way of thinking because it is such a powerful way of approaching any problem statement. The points that I am going to talk about now are not only applicable to the programming world, but they are very much applicable to any problem statement in your life. They are extremely powerful, if you use it wisely. So, I categorize the programmer's mindset into 4 aspects. One aspect is the intent of the programmer. The second one is reasoning. Third one is designing and freezing the solution. And finally, implementing and retrospecting. In this video, we will understand about intent and reasoning. And in the next video, I'll talk about designing, implementing, and retrospecting. So, the first and probably the most important aspect of a programmer's mindset is intent of the programmer. Right from the start of your learning curve, to the peak of your career as a software developer, you will surely go through innumerable problems and challenges. But, if your intent is always to solve problems, then believe me, you will solve it. I have seen many students giving up the moment they come across a difficult concept to understand. Many a time, students give up because the amount of practice that a concept will take to master. The main problem here is not a difficult concept or the amount of effort required, but it is the intent. The mind tells us everything that can stop us to give that extra effort. But, when the mind screams all the reasons it cannot be done, then we need to just hold on for a moment and see the challenge just as a new problem statement. Let me give an example. If you want to master web development, then the first thing you will do is to see all the YouTube tutorials available to learn web development. Even though there are so many good tutors and tutorials available online, there is still so much to consume. For example, learning a programming language, HTML, CSS, databases, deployment servers, version control systems, Linux systems, other front-end technologies and languages like JavaScript, Ajax, etc., and etc. And I am not even counting automation and testing, which is extremely important to create any web-based solution. It almost looks impossible to complete all of these concepts anytime soon. The mind will bombard you with so many reasons that it just cannot be done. But hold on with me, this is where reasoning has to come in. That is the second aspect of a programmer's mind. If you hold on for a moment, and actually make a note of the challenges that you're going to face during the learning curve, it will create a huge difference. Ask yourself now, out of so many reasons that your brain just gave, about how impossible it is to achieve all this. Do you have one good reason to say that it is possible? Just one. And don't think about things like determination, willpower, self-belief and all of that. Trust me, when your mind finds a great challenge ahead of itself, such words are not useful to your brain to change its decision. You need to be really logical and practical to convince your brain. I want you to give me a practical reason, which your mind can really accept. Pause the video here and think for a moment. What is that one reason that can give you that confidence to complete all the topics? Okay, I hope you would have answered yourself by now. The answers that worked for me are: Number 1, my learning speed and understanding of concepts will compound with time. Because the more I learn and acquire knowledge, my skills are going to compound with time. This means that the rate at which I am learning and acquiring knowledge, in the beginning, will not remain the same after a few months. It is going to increase every day. So, by just spending more time with focused learning, I may reach a point where I can see my destination clearly and finally achieve my goal to master web development. The second reason that won the argument in my mind was that I don't have to learn everything about everything right from the beginning. I need to reach a point where I can start working on projects, which is not that difficult to achieve, and later I can master it with work experience. The moment I gave these reasons to my mind, it dropped all its weapons and surrendered to my rational mind's decision. Note one thing in this exercise: the intent was absolutely clear to find a solution to the problem statement, and then we power the intent with reasoning. Use the same approach to solve any problem. If your mind says no or impossible to anything, just hold on, and ask your mind to know why exactly it is saying no. Do not come to any conclusion until you have clearly reasoned out all the aspects. So when you come across any issues in code, don't get anxious or frustrated. See every single error as a problem statement. Keep your intent absolutely clear, that no matter what, I'm going to find a solution to this problem. If at any point, you start showing anxiousness or frustration, hold on for a moment and start reasoning. Try to understand the reasons your mind is giving. For example, the deadline is nearing to submit the code, no solution is available even in Stack Overflow, I spent too much time on the same issue for too long, and so on. There are so many other things that your brain can tell you at different points. You must try to understand and find exactly why your brain is getting frustrated or anxious. Be careful, do not come to quick answers and conclusions, that is also a trick that your brain is very much capable of doing. Hold on with your thoughts, and then start reasoning. Let me give you a quick answer that I will give for those questions. For the first questions, even though my deadline is nearing, I cannot compromise on quality. I need to demand more time from my immediate senior to deliver. Yes, being a developer or programmer is not just about bowing down to orders by your client and just coding, it is also about owning and taking the responsibility of your delivery and quality. Because it is good for both the client and yourself. And, to rectify such a situation in the future, I will give correct estimations next time, before committing a date of delivery to the client. For the second question, if no solution is available in Stack Overflow, here, I need to spend some more time to understand the error and its source. I will try finding some documentation, and give it a good amount of reading. This can help you in a big way. Also, I will post a question in Stack Overflow in parallel, to see if I get any answers soon. By the way, I will give myself a pat on the back as well, for the fact that I found a problem which no other programmer found. Which means I have stopped hitting basic bugs and errors. So, positive and progressive thinking will give you more motivation to find the solution. For the third question, I'll try to find an alternative way first, to achieve the same solution without compromising the quality. If yes, then well and good, but if no, then I will stop doing any hit and trial methods to find a solution. Because, troubleshooting issues with hit and trial method can take more time. We'll start reading more documentation about the error, and read the code multiple times to find the bug. So likewise, if your mind gives you an argument to make a challenge look impossible to solve, start reasoning, and find logical, measurable, and practical solutions to problem statements. I hope this exercise helped you to understand about a programmer's mindset. In the next video, I will talk about the other two aspects, which are designing and freezing a solution. Implementing and retrospecting. Hope you enjoyed this video. Support the channel by clicking the like button, sharing with other code lovers, and subscribing to CodeFramer. See you in the next video, until then. Happy learning!